Hey, New York Jet fans from all around the world. Welcome to Laugh Through the Turbulence, a New York Jets podcast, the show that delivers you all your Jets content. Here are your hosts, John, Adden, and Monty. All the best to the New York Jet fans. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets.
Go Jets, and also go fucking Rangers and Knicks. Yeah, I know. I had to.
It's been a great week in New York sports, right? Jets had a great draft. Knicks are rolling. Rangers are rolling. Gotta give them all shout outs.
Yeah, that was at the Yankee game yesterday, and we lost tonight, but it's all good. Yeah, let's fucking go. All right, I'll take this hat off. I just want to reiterate, this is a hat from the 90s. If you see that logo.
Yo, dude, keep it on, man. I wore my Knicks hat for the Knicks. Keep it on, bro.
I know, but I also have my other Jets hats like right here ready to go, man.
You got your jersey on too, man. I got
my beads on.
Yeah, listen, we gotta all invest in some of the new gear though.
The new swag, yeah.
The new stuff is pretty good, man.
I haven't decided yet what jersey I'm gonna get, but I'm gonna get.
Nor have I, dude. I'm really
probably Sauce or Garrett are most likely gonna be on the team the longest from it.
Dude, I'm leaning. I love Garrett. I might go Garrett and Fashanu. I think I might have to do it, man, because I love that kid and I love the pick.
Yeah, so I was going to talk about this, in our when we get to his section, regarding the jersey fiasco with him, but it's Fashanu. It's not Fashanu. I looked it up this week. I heard like a bunch of other journalists and stuff saying it. And I looked up the pronunciation. Like, there's pronunciation things on Twitter. There's pronunciation. It is 100% fact checked. Fashanu. Fashion. Yeah.
That's what I was saying in the beginning, and John jumped down my throat for not saying it that way.
Yeah. I went by what John Lovett said for us.
That's your big mistake. First of all, paying for that was your big mistake because that was a disaster. But on top of that, taking his word for it when the guy can barely read. So anyway, I knew that's what it was, Monty.
Yeah, it's Fashanu.
I knew it.
It doesn't matter. He's fucking ours.
Yeah.
He's ours, and he's him and Tippmann, future at center. Mango.
Give me credit. At least I was getting him out of conduct, right? That was
really that's definitely more impressive.
Yeah, especially since we had him on the fucking show. All right, so we have a couple topics today, and I guess one of them would be the rumors about the Jets moving stadiums. And I think we want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Just because, basically, I guess their deal with Metlife is up fairly soon, right? And they got to renew, right? And also, there's kind of talks of them just kind of getting their own fucking stadium finally, which would be nice because, let's just be real, Metlife. I mean, it's a good stadium to watch a game at, how the seats are structured and all that, but it is an unappealing, ugly stadium.
It's definitely ugly. So the kind of the source of this, in addition to just kind of going around the interwebs, it's from a couple of different places. So it starts the source of this is actually 2 years ago with Senator Joe Adabo, who is the chair of the New York State Racing, Gaming, and Wagering Committee. And so he said, back then, and this was, back just around the time that, we thought we might have gotten a stadium on the West Side and stuff like that, or right after that, he said he wanted, and that was in 2022, he wanted to bring the Jets to New York, to Queens specifically. And, so that's where kind of that all started. And then it was backed up with the fact of the lease. So the lease is a little bit unique in that, so basically it says it's kind of like a rolling 5-year thing that gives the Jets an output clause. So basically the actual verbiage is after the 15th year of the lease and every 5 years thereafter, one of the teams, Giants or Jets, may opt out of the lease, giving the state 12 months notice. So that would put the final notice date at sometime in 2024. And if we don't activate that or actualize that, then we would not be able to get it again until 2029 for 2030. So that's like the details of it.
That's the real detail.
Yeah. And I think, with all of that said, right, the new location is looking to be Queens, right? Where around where Citi Field is, where Steve Cohen is trying to like revitalize that whole area, that is looking to be where the new stadium would be. Yeah. And I have mixed feelings about location. I think MetLife is, like John said, a good stadium to watch the game from. It's pretty easy to get there as well, especially if you're coming from Jersey or Midtown or anywhere in Manhattan. Yeah. Taking that 7 train from Manhattan to Queens, that's about an hour.
Well, they also the LIRR makes a stop there too.
Right. So there are a couple of ways, but I mean, correct. To Willet's point, that's an hour train ride, and so people from Jersey, it's gonna be difficult. Like if you're taking the LIRR from Long Island, you take it into Penn, and then from Penn you go to Secaucus, which is a 10-minute ride, and then you jump on from Secaucus to the Meadowlands. So I think I understand the desire for a new stadium, especially when you look at these stadiums that are now being built and all of that. They're beautiful. The thing about MetLife looks like a Slinky. It's just like this air conditioner looking stadium. But, I just think from like a viewing standpoint, when you're inside and from an accessibility standpoint, I don't know if you can do better, right? So it's like a catch-22 in my opinion.
Yeah. So
the architect was good in terms of designing it for getting the fuck out of that stadium, getting into that stadium, kind of sort of, right? And viewing it, and it does get quite loud. And even where we sit, right, which is 318 Road 19 through 22. Right, like,
I love it every time the specific.
Oh, I love it. I bought those tickets in 2014, and I've had them since. So
I feel you.
He'd be proud of them.
Yeah,
I'm proud of that section, and I like that section.
It's a great section.
The people around.
Yeah, we got drunk guy and his brother who try to fight everybody. We got
and also the overhang. So when it does rain, it's not that bad.
It's a good seat.
Good seats.
And what's going to happen if they move fucking stadiums? My ticket prices are going to go up, and I'm still going to buy it, of course. But
right. Well, and so I think the other thing is, John, you didn't pay for a PSL, right? At that level, right? So like they may go that direction for more people if they move. Again, I get it. I totally get the desire for a new stadium. I just don't know if it makes sense from a fan perspective to travel all the way to Queens and have like a stadium.
I mean, you have to also think, Adnan, right? With people traveling, you're going to be getting a different group. Also, the other part of that is, Jersey, people coming from Jersey, they all have cars, a lot of them anyway. You know what I mean? A lot of the
driving through Manhattan to get there is a
listen. I know that, but what I'm saying is that a lot of those fans do have cars and they will travel. You think Fireman Ed's not going to come to wherever the new stadium is?
Let me do this real quick. Okay, first off, if it's going to be in the best location, it's Hudson Yards. Where
right. If it's Manhattan, that's
it's Manhattan. It's the best location because the guys that were trying to architect it originally when I was there, it was going to be pretty fucking brilliant. First off, like it was before all the buildings went up there, right? But like that area can be made to be kind of like the way I guess Lambeau is with the bars all around it, and that's kind of how the tailgate would be. Right?
I think there's no way you're never gonna have enough parking.
Let me hear you. Let me listen out real quick. Okay.
Yeah.
2, Penn Station's right fucking there, right? And there's easy connection to Grand Central, so literally to get people in and out of that area is the fucking easiest, right? The tailgating scene would be totally fucking different, right? It would just be a bar scene, which is kind of awesome in itself, right? It's also right in Manhattan, which is just it's just the holy grail of like place, and not far from Madison Square Garden as well. So it would literally be perfect, and I would be able to walk to and from the stadium where I live in Chelsea.
There it is. There it is.
And the real
and
motive.
The shoe drops.
But here's the other thing.
And you know, I would be able to walk right there. You know,
I mean,
that has nothing to do with
not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Here's the thing. You could justify making it into a dome as well, being in New York all year round, right? But the other thing that was interesting too that they were trying to architect with it was that there was going to be a ferry system from Jersey to the stadium in Hudson Yards, right? And there is already a ferry that does exist to kind of go back and forth like that, but in reality, the Jersey people, if they didn't want to do the train, they could literally just drive to like a parking section that would be on that side of Jersey, and then they would just ferry them over regularly. Mm-hmm. It's not totally stupid. All right, now about Queens real quick.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's fucking tough. I mean, like for the Long Island people, it's the fucking greatest thing, right? No question. And all the highways are already over there, so it's like I mean, Grand Central, Van Wyck, Clearview's not very far away, and LIE, of course, right? It's kind of the easiest, but like the train system is just not ready for it. I mean, although I will say that the LIR is you get the city ticket, so it's like $270. It's really like $275 for $4 basically, right?
But also, I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? It's the Jersey people who'd be screwed, right? And
Jersey people get screwed around to benefit. They've already been screwed enough, so
but they've had the stadium for how long now? Sorry, Jersey.
Yeah, I get it. I think
not mad.
I get it. I just think again, but also Queens for Manhattan people. I mean, that's a trek, also, right? Like if you're taking the 7, you have to get to Grand Central first.
Think LIR, because that's real. That's the direct, right? That's direct. It's like 2 stops.
Right. But again, people would take the 7, right? There are multiple ways to get there.
Yeah.
And I
people
think
that live in the middle of Queens would take the 7 for sure, no question.
Right, in the middle of Queens, right. But I mean, I just think like, I don't know. And like to Monty, to John's point, man, that would make because I gotta fly in from North Carolina. So for me, it's I fly in
to LaGuardia.
I fly in.
Taxi there.
I fly into JFK.
Sorry, JFK.
Take the LIRR from JFK to Penn Station. Jump on the train from Penn to Secaucus, and I meet you guys there. Right?
No, that's not how you would do it. Actually, you would take the air train to Jamaica, and I think you
could get the LIRR from Jamaica.
That's what I meant. Air train to Jamaica LIRR into Penn, and then Penn to Secaucus. Meet you guys there, and I'm ready to go. Right.
So I just wanted to.
Sure, you could figure it out. You don't have to go back to Manhattan. You know what? Google it. You figure this fucking.
Yeah.
For me, Queens wouldn't be bad either because I
that's what I'm saying. Like you could just go straight from JFK.
Yeah, forget it. I'm good either way. Forget
it. But anyway. So what I wanted to say was, something is going to have to be done eventually because like this stadium. So Metlife, right? It cost about $1 billion, 1.1 to build. It's aging terribly. It looks bad. People, don't really love it.
Aging terribly.
It
sucks, but in terms of like how it's built well to hold itself together.
It's about 15 years old, and it looks every bit of its age.
It just looks bad.
It looks cheap. It looks bad, and it's just not going to hold up from the abuse of 2 different fan bases. The other like look at like the Chargers and Rams SoFi Stadium. That's $5.5 billion, and it looks like it. And that stadium is going to be fine to house both those teams. This team, this stadium, they really kind of did it on the cheap. And at some point, it's going to start, not being advantageous for us to, to kind of deal with this stadium situation. But one thing you guys didn't actually, put together as a potential reason is, and some of the players have actually spoken to this in the past, was the proximity to One Jets Drive. So you would have to now change facilities too and move that over there. Where would you find that space? How much would that cost? It would be a huge pain in the ass, huge expenditure. It would be closer to the airports though. So, there's that.
Well, you have Newark right there. Newark's fairly easy.
Yeah, Newark's fairly easy too. But man, I mean, just for my own personal, like, I hate to see, Miami have a better stadium than us and Buffalo have a better stadium than us. Yes, dude. Yes. I've been there many times. Even as a Jets fan, Miami Stadium smokes the shit out of fucking MetLife. It's not close.
No, it's just the stripper poles there in the parking lot, man.
I mean, that helps too. But no, like, you have like Club Live there, just the layout of it, the awning, the look from the outside, tailgating scene, like from top to bottom, like, Miami's got a good setup there with their system. And then now the Bills had their renovations too. I actually haven't been to Foxborough. Have either of you guys been there?
Yeah, I've been to Foxborough. That stadium sucks, dude.
It sucks. Okay, well, so then we have the third worst stadium in the AFC East.
Like, you've been to New Era?
Huh?
Well, obviously they're getting a new
Buffalo?
stadium.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They're getting a new one. So that's
but their current one is worse than ours right now.
Yeah, their current one. I'm talking about in the very near future, they're getting one that's going to be a.
Well, I would say this. Like, I get what you're saying, Monty. But I feel like
also it'll have grass. Whatever new stadium would likely have grass, which is huge for the team.
Okay. Well, the last thing you got to really think about too, someone's got to flip the bill for it, right? Do you think the Johnson family is going to fund the whole fucking thing? No, it's coming
never.
down with tax dollars, and I'm not so happy with paying a lot of taxes as it is. Yeah, Adnan doesn't care. He lives in North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But with that said, I do believe in the plight of the taxpayer, and I don't think the taxpayer.
It's all make believe money anyway.
Oh, boy. Just like the salary cap.
It's just like the salary cap, man. They just make it up.
Dude, this is the first time in a long time I take zero fucking exemptions, and I fucking paid federal taxes beyond what I paid during the year. Don't even fucking. I'm not. No, we're not.
I
John is. Yeah, let's not get into the political side.
Yeah, now you got me fucking angry, dude.
Yeah, I think the So I think there are pros and cons to both, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, like, at the end of the day, At the end of the day, I think a new stadium would be nice, but let's really think about it. If they opt out in 2024, right? When is this new stadium even going to be built? Right?
Yeah.
What's the time frame for that? And we have
it's not happening now.
It's not happening anytime soon. So I think for our
it would have to be for 29. I think it would, I think 29 is a very real possibility to, especially if the team does good,
right?
Especially if the team starts doing good and can kind of keep that going. You never know.
Yeah, but then you're gonna get a situation like what the Hunts are trying to do with the Chiefs right now, right? Fucking leverage the fact that they're gonna leave.
And then I mean, worst case scenario. I mean, I don't think the Jets. Oh my
Jets would never leave New York. There's no way.
Imagine if the Jets.
They wouldn't.
Imagine if the Jets moved to St. Louis. I would lose my mind, dude.
Yeah.
You thought that Monty?
I'm fighting everybody.
You thought that Monty and I would be mad if the Jets drafted the wrong person waiting outside for Joe Douglas? If they moved to St. Louis, I'm sorry, I'm going to prison for life.
You know what I would do? I would do what the Chargers fan did when they moved from LA to San Diego. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he went to the base of the Charger facility and he got about 6 cartons of eggs, and he just started throwing them at the front door. It was fucking great. And he recorded doing it. He was
great.
I think that would be like step one.
Yeah.
Right? Like that would be step one.
That's how you kick it off.
This is just the beginning, guys. But yeah, I think, John, I think you're right. I don't think they would ever move out of New York, especially with Woody Johnson as the owner. Like, I don't think they're going to move out of New York. And also, to be honest, I know they have that opt-out, and I know that, like, the Jets organization is getting sick of the Giants because they want to do things and the Giants keep shooting it down. Yeah. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a grass field is one of them that the Giants keep shooting down, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's the Maras.
Yeah, so I think it's that, but also I would be very surprised if they opted out.
It'd be interesting. Interesting. If you look at the attendance numbers, the Jets actually have a higher attendance number than the Giants.
The Jets. I think the Jets.
Well, we also do have one of the big. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant higher than other teams. Sorry. Yeah, than the Giants. Yeah.
Higher than the teams. We have more too, which is interesting in itself, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you got to remember the Giants do have to give a little bit because they split the bill on the rent.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Absolutely. So I think it's an interesting conversation. But at the end of the day, like, they may do it. But like I said, and tell me what you guys think. For me, I'd be shocked if they did it. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'm definitely personally biased because I live in Queens. So obviously I would want that to happen.
Well, right.
So,
but what do you
for
think?
sure.
But what do you think?
As far as what I think is going to happen, I genuinely think that it's going to be a legitimate conversation. Not now, though. In 2029. I think that'll be a very legitimate conversation.
I got you. So you're saying probably not now, but
I don't think now, but I think 2029, especially if the Jets start doing better and, like, can keep that, that consistency. Like, Salah's our coach, Fashanu is our 10-year tackle, and maybe Jordan Travis is our quarterback. Like, if all those things end up working out and we start putting together somewhat of a dynasty situation like what Green Bay's doing, I think that you could see us definitely wanting to break out a little bit, do our own thing, and especially not be, or especially if there's more injuries due to the turf, stuff like that. All those things, those are all little, straws that are getting added. And I think the camel's back is going to break eventually. I don't think Woody wants to be here. I think it's a great money-saving situation, but if he can talk the government in New York into, putting together a stadium over there, and it probably wouldn't be too far. Like, imagine if it wasn't too far from, like, the the Mets stadium as is. Like, that'd be super convenient for Mets and Jets fans.
One, you gotta remember they're flipping the New Yorkers already flipping the bill on Buffalo Stadium, so
yeah.
Two.
Yeah, that's fair as well. That's a good point.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't want to pay the fucking taxes. All right.
They're not gonna raise your taxes over that, though.
I will bitch about taxes.
Oh, we know.
You bitch about everything.
Topics before I fucking get angry. Rodgers was a full in the OTAs. I mean, we kind of already glazed over this, but I mean, this team looks like it's fucking dead straight on one goal, right? I mean, everyone's showing up to the facility and doing it. Michael Clemens showed up with, like, he wore a shirt this time or no? When he showed up to the facility, I keep forgetting.
I don't remember.
I would bet money he didn't, though. I didn't see it. That money he
very
didn't.
tight shirt.
But
I mean, they look like they're fucking ready to rock and roll, and, like, it's really good that we're not going to get the HBO fucking Hard Knocks thing.
Yeah. And I think, John. Sorry to cut you off, Monty.
We could again. But
I was just gonna say I kind of wanted to see it this time around, but I would rather it not.
Yeah, dude.
Because I know the impact that it has negative on the teams. I'm just saying for my own personal reasons of, like, wanting to see more Jets content.
Pride.
I wanted to see
right. And I think Hard Knocks last season was cool, but man, it's just like it was crazy,
a good season.
Right?
It was a good season for Hard Knocks.
I mean, it's crazy because, like, the last time the Jets had it, they went to the AFC Championship game. If Rodgers didn't get hurt, you could look back on that as, like, but now it's a big one. But nevertheless, I'm glad there isn't Hard Knocks. But looking at this team, the way they're constituted, I mean, Aaron Rodgers had every reason to say, I'm going to rehab, and not, he's here. He offered Corley a place to stay. You can stay in my guest house, man, right? Like,
and Corley's going to take him up on it, too,
right,
supposedly.
Exactly. And
smart. He's not making that much yet.
Well, dude, now listen, I'm sure the Jets would put him up if needed, right? Like, the fact of the matter is that Rodgers is doing those, like, little things.
He's doing the things, yeah.
He's doing all of those things that people said. Well, you know, Aaron Rodgers is the me first guy.
Rodgers pitched about it. How Amari Rodgers pitched about Rodgers, basically.
Yeah. He doesn't hang out.
Yeah, and Colin Coward, you're not gonna miss this shade too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, Colin Coward talks all the shit about Aaron Rodgers,
about how he's prickly,
selfish, and
selfish,
and how all the bullshit Colin Coward and all those guys say, and it's all bullshit. He's a good guy. As far as what he's shown, I can't speak to him in every fashion of his life, but in what he's shown as a leader of the Jets organization and the Jets, players, they voted him most inspirational player for a reason.
And I also think, right, when you look at Rodgers, like what he does, and one thing Colin Cowherd said that I do agree with is that I know you had the Amari Rodgers, whatever, that's a fringe roster guy. It is what it is, right? But one of the things, again, outside of Amari is that I've never heard a teammate say anything bad about Aaron Rodgers. And one of the things Colin Cowherd says is that Rodgers pushes back against authority, right? He didn't have a problem with the players in Green Bay, the coaches in Green Bay. He was mad at Gutekunst and the people above them that weren't giving him, straight answers about things and drafting Jordan Love without even telling him. I mean, on the clock, granted, the Falcons told Kirk Cousins they were drafting Penix, right? Like, so all of these things, I get it. But I think he's a really good teammate.
I just saw Brittany in the background. I don't know if she wanted to give a shout out. I'll also be the first female on the show. By any chance?
Yeah, no, I don't think she was there. She went outside to get something really quick.
But yeah, I think that I think that's the whole point with Rodgers is that he's a good guy, man. And I think like this thing for him is like it's a mission, right? Because Green Bay said, we don't want you. Then the Jets brought him in, and I think he wants to be, for lack of a better word, that like savior, right?
Yeah.
The guy that came in and said, nobody else could do it since Namath. I'm going to do it. Right? And I think like he's going to do everything he can to be that guy and do it. I really believe it.
I want him to wear 12 to break the curse, man. I want him to wear 12.
Yeah.
Hey, man, but that's
like a reverse
LeBron
thing or Jordan thing, 45.
But that's the other thing, man. If he was an asshole, like everyone says, he would be like, I'm wearing 12, screw Namath.
Yeah.
Right? He switched his number. He's doing all the right things. And the only thing that I worry about with Rodgers.
Yeah, even Namath said he could wear it.
Yeah, he said no, right? And the only thing I worry about is health, right? He stays healthy. He's a top 10 to 12 quarterback in the
honestly,
NFL.
I'm not so worried about that, to be honest with you. I think he got his health bug out of the way last year. I think he'll play most of his games this year. Obviously it's always a threat, you know what I mean? But I mean, just going down, knock wood, whatever, but two seasons in a row, season enders, like, everyone's we already have AVT on the team. Like we can't have that again. 2 season enders back to back.
Yeah, or Becton.
Or Becton. Yeah, exactly. So
I just did that to piss off Adnan.
Oh, you shut him off?
Yeah. No, I didn't. He He's probably doing that. See, I just walk around. I don't give a shit.
Gotcha.
But whatever.
But
I
yeah,
don't know. I guess we can go over our next topic, right? Which is interesting, right? It's a weird one, but I get it. Fake outrage over fashion news number selection. So he wore 74 in college. And, and he took 74, I guess, right? I mean, it's not a retired number by any means, right? I mean, they didn't retire. I mean, Mangold's in the Ring of Honor, right? So, yeah. I mean, I guess he always wore it, right? And he is a first round pick.
Yeah, it was his college number. Yeah, we looked that up.
Yeah, and he's a lineman. Some people are very outraged, like hockey. First off, Mangold is fucking awesome. Adnan and I got to meet him once at one of the Jet things that they did for the pandemic.
I have a football signed by him right here in my house. Yeah,
I had him and Ferguson sign the same ball, which was cool. And
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And Fabini signed it too, I believe. But it was just he was really cool. He was sipping on his whiskey, and he's a drinker. I would say this: of all the former Jets I'd like to play golf with, it would be him. He would be
Mangold. Yeah, like linemen are usually pretty smart, and smart lends itself to worldly taste. It lends itself to humor. Like, I don't know, maybe call me a nerd, but I have a bias towards people who are pretty smart. And Mangold's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, I like my girls dumb though. I'm just
well, exactly. That's why you got to have smart homies.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean? But I like I like the idea of him having the number. I mean, listen, we know the Jets have only retired five numbers, right? Namath, Maynard,
Klecko, Martin,
and Dennis Bird. Yeah, so they've only retired those five
on the first bat. That's good.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. So they only have 5 retired jerseys. So with those 5, you could see that, like, because if you look at like other teams, is what, like, I did a little bit of Googling, and like we're definitely in the mid to lower range in terms of the amount of retired jerseys that teams have. There are obviously some teams that don't do it and they have 0. Like I think the Cowboys don't do it. And there's
might be wrong on that, but I'll check.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys. There's a couple of. Yeah, I don't think the Texans have any. I don't necessarily know if they don't do it, but I know they don't have. I'm pretty sure they don't have any, and if they do, it's only 1, something like that. But other than those teams, we're on the lower end, so we're a little bit sparing with who we retire, and rightly so, in my opinion. But if we wanted to, and he would be a good candidate for it, we could retire his jersey, but the Jets haven't done that. So the fact that they haven't done it, the fact that, he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, and the fact that, it's not like they just picked this number out of a hat. It's what this guy wore in college. He is a first rounder. He is expected to do big things. He is at a position that we need right now. I'm okay with it. If the Jets want to retire the number, they can. But, I'm not going to sit here and make a big deal out of it or be salty about it. I saw where I don't know if it was Jet X Factor. I don't know. It was one of those outlets that covers the Jets. They compiled like a whole bunch of angry tweets of like all these people who were like, like they're just like, I feel some type of way about him wearing the 74, and I don't like that he got Mangold's number, and like, these numbers are borrowed. They're not, you don't own the number unless it's retired under you. Like, other than that, like, you wear it, somebody else might wear it. Like, that's just how it goes. That's the game of football.
Well,
I don't know.
Here's an interesting one. Can you name all the teams that have no one retired in there? And you've got Cowboys and Texans.
Texans.
The other 4. And one of them used to, and then they undid it.
Oh, really? Oof. Browns?
No, they got a couple.
They have a couple. Let's see. Panthers.
No, they have a couple too, which is weird.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they have Sam Mills retired.
Oh, they only have they only have the one. Let's see, who else would it be? It's got to be a newer team like the Titans. Do they have any?
No, they're gonna have Oilers. So that is
No, if they're not, would they have Oilers?
Yeah, they have a bunch of numbers: Moon, McNair, George, Campbell, Norton, Munchak.
Gotcha.
Bruce
Yeah,
Matthews.
McNair. Actually, that makes sense.
I'm forgetting one. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me give it to you. Right, ready?
Mhm.
All right. So the ones that don't do it: Falcons, Cowboys, and Vegas are traditionally do not retire.
Oh, that's
Saints
right.
did.
Oakland.
Yeah. Saints did, but then they they had two, and their new management said no, which is crazy because I think Brees should be retired from that group, right?
Oh,
And
100%.
yeah, and you had it on Texans, and the other one is actually Baltimore, which actually could do it easily with Ogden,
Oh,
Ray
they have
Lewis,
so many.
Suggs, and like Ed Reed.
Ed Reed for sure should get his jersey retired.
All right, so
which
teams have the most retired jerseys?
Oh, Jesus.
Teams, plural, and how many?
John, did you say the Raiders don't, or they do?
Yeah, the Raiders don't.
And neither do the Falcons.
That's interesting.
They don't, and the Texans either don't or haven't.
So who has the Cowboys, right?
No, the Cowboys don't do it.
Oh, they don't. I hear that. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
they don't do anyone.
So
I would say what the Chargers,
Most retired?
right?
No.
49ers?
Nope.
Rams?
No. You gotta think old school.
Give a hint. Give a non-obvious.
These are old teams.
Green Bay.
Not Green Bay, but close.
Yeah. Bears.
Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah. There's another one too.
The Colts.
No, it's our neighbors.
Oh, the Giants.
Yeah, 14 numbers each, which is fucking nuts.
That's ridiculous. There hasn't been.
But I wouldn't say that's ridiculous. It depends on how long you've been 14 for how many years.
I
mean,
the Giants go back to the 50s.
I mean, the 1925.
Oh, 20s?
Right. Yeah, so the 20s. So you're looking at 19.
Okay, if you go back that far, that makes more sense.
That makes sense. 14. And this is jerseys. And I apologize. Step away for a second. This is jerseys, not numbers or numbers.
Yeah. So basically, we're on the Fashanu pronunciation. We're on the Fashanu jersey outrage bullshit and I was just saying that we don't retire numbers all that often. We could if we wanted to, and if we wanted to retire Mangles, we could. We haven't yet, so it's still up for grabs. You know what I mean? So
you can't hold numbers, right, that aren't retired.
Yeah. So then we got on the the jerseys.
The one that shocked me is that Pittsburgh only had 3 numbers retired.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's one of the lowest. I do remember that.
They have so many guys that are worthy, right?
Right, and I think Pittsburgh is just like, I know that title.
How do you reckon Jerry Bradshaw though?
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying though, right? Like you look at Green Bay, like Title Town, like all that. I'm sorry, like when I think football, you think Steelers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so when you look at that, like it's gotta be the like. And I get Bradshaw, I get it, but man, to be retired as a Steeler, like you have to be. Like, who are the 3, by the way? Do we have that?
3, I gotta go Franco, right? Franco Harris, it's gotta be one, right? Yeah, all right, I got the list. Yeah, and Joe Green, obviously, and then Ernie Stepner.
That makes sense. I mean, especially Joe Green, like that makes sense to me. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like Mike Webster could have been one.
Mike Webster agreed. I mean, Bradshaw, without a doubt.
Bradshaw for sure, obviously.
But then you look at like kind of more recent guys, right? In Pittsburgh lore, does Hines Ward deserve it?
Even Big Ben.
Big Ben, man.
Big Ben, Hines Ward. Big Ben for sure.
There's so many guys. Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bettis. Yeah. I mean,
if you take your team to a Super Bowl, you should be automatically in consideration for getting your jersey retired.
Well, then the Jets shouldn't retire anyone but
if you were the main reason, which it was Namath for sure, was the main reason.
Who are the Jets retarees again?
We did this and we got it without even fucking looking.
Yeah. It's so
Maynard, Marner, Klecko,
Namath, Klecko, Bird, and Martin. Yeah.
Which is right.
Yeah,
and,
those are right.
Yeah. All right. So here's a good. I'll do one last trivia one. Who are the only players that have their number retired for 2 different teams?
Oof.
The only player.
Damn.
One of them is kind of tricky because it was already a number taken by somebody else. I guess they kind of honored him again. So the number.
Can you give us position?
Yeah.
All right. One's a quarterback and one's an edge rusher or defensive end, I guess. Yeah.
A quarterback had his number retired on 2 different teams. Who could?
Yeah, I mean, one doesn't really count. It's really only one guy, but the quarterback received acknowledgement for re-retiring the number after it was taken out of retirement for him. That should be such a huge hit.
Quarterback.
I don't know.
Yeah, who won Super Bowls with 2 different franchises as a quarterback?
I mean, there are a couple. Brady?
Yeah.
No, not Brady, but close.
2 Super Bowls.
And 12 wasn't retired from the Bucs. So,
hold on, Montana.
Right, 12,
hold on, Montana didn't. Shit. Now I'm gonna be furious when you say the answer.
Peyton
Manning. Damn it. That was right there too. You know what's so crazy though? Like, I don't even acknowledge the Denver Super Bowl for Manning. Not saying they didn't deserve it or anything, but like that never enters my mind.
Yeah, I kind of forget that year.
Great. He was historically great.
He was.
No, the 1 year, the year they won the Super Bowl, he was a shell of himself. The year he was great.
And made him really relevant really fast.
What's that?
He made them really relevant really fast.
No, I get it.
The Jets almost got him.
Dude, you know what, dude? I love Manning, but fuck him. He went back.
Manny's awesome, dude.
He went back.
No, he's the reason we have fucking Adam Gase in our history. Hell no.
But also, hold on, back up. He went back into the draft when the Jets had the number 1 pick because he didn't want to be drafted by the Jets. Fuck him. As great as he is, dude, then if you're the greatest quarterback ever, then you should have come to the Jets. But he went back in, and that's, to me, that and Gase is unforgivable.
Wait, both Manning brothers did that? That's crazy.
Well,
because Eli did the same thing.
Eli didn't go back.
Peyton, yeah, but I mean, same sort of deal. Same result of not going to.
But hold on, man. I don't care if they were a disaster. Like, you chose not to come. And then he planted, he was the fucking mole, the fucking double agent who planted Gase to screw them again.
Sure.
Right?
We got Joe Douglas out of it, though.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. I'm just saying, from a Jet fan perspective, right? Like, Peyton Manning is incredible, top 5 to 7 quarterback of all time. Yeah. He can go fuck himself.
So that's interesting about Peyton Manning, real quick. The number was originally retired for Frank Chipuka, but then it was, he gave him the exemption just like Joe did. Joe could have, All right. Anyway, who's the other guy? Who's the only guy to actually have his number originally retired twice by 2 different teams?
You said it was a corner?
No, it's a defensive player.
Oh, defensive player.
His number retired by 2 different.
Yeah, I'll give you a clue. He played for 2 NFC teams.
Let's see.
One of the greatest of all time. arguably the best defensive end of all time. It's not outside linebacker, which would be an edge rusher. Which
Reggie White. Reggie White.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Reggie White, right? Eagles and Packers.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That makes sense. 92, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I don't think it'll ever happen again, but the Minister of Defense.
Wow. You think Revis gets his number retired at some point?
He should.
You know what, man? Again, like
it's hard to say though, because
one of the greatest corners to ever play the game.
Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor, but didn't win one with us.
Didn't win one with the Jets and one with
with our rival,
with the Patriots. I wouldn't have even put him in the Ring of Honor.
Nah,
get the hell out of here!
Nah,
you gotta get. No,
you gotta put him. You gotta put him in the ring. Come on, he did most of it with us. Like it's not like he went to the Patriots for what 1 year.
So I'll give him. This is what I'll give him for the Ring of Honor. Back up,
bro.
front,
You can't control.
I'll give him the Ring of Honor because he didn't go right from the Jets to the Patriots. The Jets did trade him to the Bucs willingly. So, okay, right. Ring of Honor, but no number retirement.
And I also don't, and he didn't have, I don't think he had a say in it, really. How much say did he really have in the Patriots?
He signed there as a free agent.
As a free agent. So exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
no, he picked. What do you mean? He could have went anywhere.
He could have gone anywhere, I know, but I'm just saying, like, they went to him and they gave him his money and they were the best team.
Hold on.
You got to go where the money is.
But what I would also say is I think he took less to go there, which he would never do for the Jets. Right? So, that's my thing.
That's fair. Then that's a fair point. I didn't remember that, but that's a fair point. Yeah, I didn't care as much about contracts and free agency and stuff as I do in the last, maybe like 5 years or so.
Yeah, we were young then, we were just like, Revis. But the more I think about it now, it's just like you got to be like, be the guy. I think the Jets should retire Al Toon's number. That's who I want to see next because I love that guy. And he was one of the best receivers in Jets history.
Completely agree. Definitely
over Revis, absolutely.
Definitely gets it definitely gets kind of like, his name gets brought up, but like people don't talk about him. Like they talk about his name, like I hear his name all the time, but that like, the greats like Al Toon and blah blah blah. But then that's kind of where it ends. People don't go into it.
He was on some bad teams, and that kind of kills you. But yeah, man, the guy he's a great guy. I wore on a tangent, John. When we went to Green Bay for Jets Packers, I wore my Al Toon jersey. He's from Wisconsin. He went to Wisconsin. He still lives there. Like he's just like a salt of the earth guy, and so like. For the Jets to have him in the organization, like he's one of the good guys. And I think for what he did for this team, I think he should be the next one that's retired.
Yeah. But back to the topic, Fashanu, I don't think that there should be outrage over his number. I don't think it's a big deal. And shut the hell up. Salty.
Let it become a number that only a great exception can wear.
Exactly. And Mangold didn't even care.
Right, exactly.
Mangold's like drinking the second beer at the Ranger game, being like, "What?"
Yeah, dude, he doesn't care. But no, that's fair.
Yeah, Jets want to retire the number they can.
Yeah, I could very well see. I guess the next Ring of Honor guy. From us when it does come down the road, Quinnen will definitely be getting that 95 up there. Just because even he's been great.
Well, shit.
I think you don't think CJ Mosley will end up in the Ring of Honor?
Not enough time.
Not enough time. But what about? Mangold and Brick should, right?
Yeah, both of them did the same year. Yeah, they did
both
were
drafted the same year, and they didn't play for another team.
True. That should definitely come into it, like number of years played with only the Jets. You know what I mean?
Unless Rodgers wins this one, then fuck it, put him up there.
Dude, if he wins it, put him up next.
I'll give it to him myself.
Put him up 2025. Put him in.
I'll give it to him myself.
Do it yet, right? With Brady, they didn't do it yet with Brady.
Yeah. Well, I bet.
Right now,
I bet they're feeling some type of way.
You guys see the roast, the Brady roast,
dude. I saw clips.
I'm not done with it, but yeah, I've started it.
Dude,
it's really good.
It is savage, man. They had some savage parts, but
Brady lost crypto. Even Gronk was like, "Me, no, not real money."
But I will say the only time he got pissed. So I saw a clip about was it Andrew Schwartz? One of the guys that was a roaster, and they were told to not make any jokes about Robert Kraft. Yeah. And then when Jeff Ross made the massage joke, that's when Brady was like, don't say anything like that again. Because they were all told
he lost his wife. He doesn't want to get it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Brady was like, don't. His marriage, he didn't care about anything else. Aaron Hernandez, but he was like, don't.
Yeah, like that was crazy. The just hanging around or whatever joke with Aaron Hernandez.
Edelman said one. I was like, oh Jesus, but yeah, I think the Kraft thing, and look, it is what it is. I get not wanting him involved, but man, they ripped him apart, and he took it well. I guess my question would be, again, on a tangent, why he would do that. He doesn't need the money. You know, like I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. You know,
what, get
with like with Nikki Glasser up there. No way.
She's the best. She's the best.
She's up there.
If she stood up there was going to make jokes about me for 7 minutes, I'm like, nope. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, why does anyone ever do a roast, right? You know, it's like
well, I would say this, and this is really not Jets talk or whatever. I would say this. I think Netflix I think they have more freedom to actually do roasts than like Comedy Central does with like cursing and all that stuff, and the comedians being able to say whatever the fuck they want. I mean, they might have the market going forward on these roasts.
But did you see like the live version? After the live version, Kim Kardashian's team had them remove all of the booing and the jeering for her.
Yeah,
and
I
think Kevin Hart had some stuff removed as well. So like, if you're gonna watch it, you gotta watch it live, because I don't think it'll be the same experience watching it recorded. But I agree with you, John. They have the most leeway to just say whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. I really love Kim Kardashian and that whole family.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, John. We get it. Yeah, we get it, John. We get it.
Yeah, we get it
too. All right, next topic.
I don't know if we had another one, but I guess
before we get sued.
I mean, who do you think would sue us first? I guess that's a good one. Let me put that as a banner. Who sues LTT first?
Probably PFF, because it's like one of those things. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this earlier today. I don't know why this popped into my mind, but it's like, how right Shohei Ohtani, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knew everything that was going on. But because he's a mega superstar, his translators taking the fall, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to make an example of Shohei Ohtani.
Well, that dude speaks perfect English, man.
But that guy knows English. He didn't even need a translator. Jonte Porter, the guy who, nobody ever bet on Jonte Porter in the NBA. His over-under rebounds for 4, people would bet the under, and then he'd be like, I'm sick, I can't play. And he got banged. Why? Because they make examples of the small people. So if anyone's going to sue, they're going to sue us.
I don't agree with that because, like for example, like when we did our live during the draft, and we simulcast it, and apparently that was a no-go. Like mostly what these people do, or what these companies do, or organizations do, is they pretty much they like, as much as everyone thinks, oh, everyone is litigious and this and that, what they really do is they send you cease and desist, they send you communication, they get the service provider platform to pull the plug or remove the video. Like there's so many steps that they'll take before they actually go there, because it incurs a cost. Like you have to file. There's like the bill rates for certain lawyers. They may have in-house legal counsel, but then they may have to also outsource part of it because it might not be within their purview. There's a lot of things that go into suing people. And I just, knowing that, my dad worked for a law firm for 30 years. 25 years. And, just from what I know, there's just a lot of steps that go into, avoiding lawsuits really before anything else. So that even if they could, because what are they going to do? Like pay all the money to get us into court to get what out of us? Nothing. No, they would it would never recoup their cost. It would never be worth it.
Maybe I should rephrase. Not sued, but cease and desist.
But that does nothing. That's just the hey, don't do that thing anymore. It's not. It wouldn't stop the podcast. It wouldn't stop anything we're doing.
My new business has a pretty fucking expensive lawyer. I bet I can get his ass to cover for us a little bit. He's $350 an hour now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one for
how much? You said $350. Yeah, that's a
I got compliance guys. $350 an hour, and then I have just a generalist now is $125 an hour.
So I guess next thing we can maybe jump into a little bit here. We all derailed this.
Give me top.
Jordan Travis. Yeah. We want to talk about. Yeah, so I mean, pretty much with Jordan Travis, it's just he was expected to he's expected to make training camp, which is kind of a huge announcement given the injury, shattered ankle that he had. If you remember, he broke FSU's single season rushing record. He also broke the school's record for all-purpose touchdowns, basically, running and throwing, put together. The kid's an absolute stud, and to get a talent like that in the 5th round where we got him is just it's amazing. And we even heard Saleh talk about him recently. Saleh was like, he's just a ball of clay who was winning games off pure athleticism, and then once we have the time to kind of work with him, he can be a pretty damn good football player. And honestly, I don't even fully agree with that. I think he's a good football player now. I thought he may not be as polished as some of the guys that went in the 1st round. He may be a step behind because he's had to take a year off, but don't make no mistake, the kid can throw, he can sling the ball, and he's fast as shit. I think he's a great quarterback, and we saw him in video from Mini-Camp. He's already on the bike, and he's expected to make training camp. So what are you guys' thoughts?
I think it'll be good for him to start getting some action. Especially learning not just from Rodgers, but also from Tyrod.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing that people are.
Tyrod's a veteran.
Tyrod is a veteran.
He is, and I think
Rodgers will be doing shit during the game, obviously not being able to really communicate what the fuck he's doing during the game, but Tyrod will be like, this is what's happening. This is what he's doing.
And I also think better, and I also think I have a lot of thoughts on this. So first of all, I'll say, speaking to John's point, I also think Jordan Travis is like a mix of the two, right? He has the athleticism of Tyrod, and I think not to that level, obviously, but he's also a thrower of the football, right?
Yeah.
And I think with that said, if you had to ask me my college football team, it will be Florida State. growing up, back in the early 90s, I love their wide receivers. Florida State is my favorite college football program. And so I watched him a lot. And friend of the show, Colin Cowherd, in September, October of last year, looked at him as a first-round pick. This guy doesn't get hurt. He's a first-round pick at worst, early second, right? And
Did you call Cowherd a friend of the show?
He's a friend of the show. He's our guy, right, Monty? That's
who
Colin Cowherd.
He's a nice kicking bag, punching bag for us.
He's a friend of the show, but
okay, just making sure you made yourself fucking clear on that one.
We're being very sarcastic.
Yeah, being very sarcastic.
Okay. I've worked all day. Sorry.
But with that said, man, I think he landed in the best situation possible. Maybe, and I know we hated the pick. I get it. Outside of a backup, in terms like Michael Penix, you look at Travis. He'll have zero pressure. He's going to be able to learn, ease into the offense, actually have. And it's crazy, right? Like, we talk about the skill positions of this team, the depth. Even if he's playing with the scout team, with the practice squad, he's still going to have quality people to throw the ball to hand the ball off to kind of like ease himself into NFL life, which is what I think 90% of drafted quarterbacks need. Yeah, you'll have the, occasional Andrew Luck who'll step in and be just the stud. But man, I am so excited. And on top of all of it, in our mock drafts, Travis was the guy we wanted. We kept mocking Travis.
Yeah, we did.
Travis, quarterback, Travis.
We saw value there. We saw value in the draft.
Saw value there, getting him in. And we were taking him in the third round, saying he's not going to get to the fourth. He got to the fifth.
So we're doing fourth round with them typically. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I get your point. Yeah.
Whatever it was. But nevertheless, right? We saw it, and it's rare where you're like, we see the value, and they saw it. When they said his name, I lost it. I was so excited, not just for the Jets, but for our podcast that we kept saying
that was awesome. That was awesome.
And so, I think that he's a good package, right? He's everything you want, and hopefully he can be that emergency quarterback, and we'll go from there.
Hey, real quick, I just want to trivia you adding on Florida State Heisman winners. There's 3 of them. You know them?
Charlie Ward.
There's one. Nick.
Chris Wenke.
Yeah, you're gonna get the third too. Yeah.
And the Peter Warwick.
Nope.
Wait, hold on. Jameis, my bad, Jameis.
Yeah.
My bad, yeah.
Yeah. Also, fun Heisman question: who has the highest voting percentage for the Heisman ever?
Oh man, I think it's Jameis. No.
No.
Is it Florida State guy or no?
No, it's not.
Is it Johnny Football?
No, it's not.
Okay, obviously.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So who got the?
Yeah.
Was it Tebow? Tebow?
What?
Was it Tebow?
No, not Tebow.
Who was that? I'm not sure. Who was there? So many.
I'll give you a clue. He's an active player.
What position?
Quarterback.
Burrow?
Yep.
That makes
93.8% of the possible votes.
That actually, dude, that LSU team
He's a
was
starting QB. It had to be him. Yeah.
Dude, and that team had Justin Jefferson and who was the other receiver? Studs, Jefferson and Chase.
Yeah.
Like, what are you kidding me?
but the Miami Hurricanes. I have a debate with an LSU fanatic that the Miami Hurricanes, 2000, 2001, that's the greatest team ever. But he always says 2019.
I don't know, man.
It has to be Miami.
No, it's Miami. It's Miami.
Yeah, because I think they would be better defensively.
FSU fans will tell you it's not Miami.
We agree that it was Miami.
Dude, no, I agree. I agree because when you look at those Miami teams, I mean, man, those defenses, that's the thing to be like, LSU's defense was good. It wasn't Miami good.
And
then
like just
late
all
90s, early 2000s.
And then all those people that went to the league from there, you know what I mean? And all those skill position players they had. Like,
I mean, look, you look at their receivers. It was Reggie Wayne. It was Santana Moss. Like all those.
Moss left before then, but yeah, he was part of.
He was still on the team.
He was part of that. Like those guys.
Rocky,
Rocky, yeah, dude, it was
I have safety was ridiculous.
They just.
Begrudgingly, I agree.
Yeah, Sean Taylor and who was the tight end? We're playing special teams. I forgot. Dustin. No, not Dustin.
No, was it Kellen Winslow?
Winslow. He was playing special teams, which is insane. All right,
Winslow Jr.
Another fun trivia question: which non-QB has the highest voting percentage in the Heisman?
Ricky Williams.
Close, but yes. But technically, yes, but no. But it's not him. He was 85.23.
Ron Dane?
No.
Oh, I don't know this one.
It's Reggie Bush.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yo, you know what's funny is like I was thinking of him before, and then when you said it was a QB or whatever, I was like, oh, okay. I was thinking it was Reggie Bush earlier. Like if you hadn't have said it was a quarterback, that was going to be my guess. But that's funny.
Yeah. All right. Here's another fun one. I guess before we wrap it up with final thoughts, which defensive player has the highest voting percentage?
Charles Woodson.
Yeah. Wow. That was good.
Damn, that's good.
And that was a tough year to win it too, which is just fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe
97 had him and Randy Moss and Peyton Manning, dude.
Yeah, he won it over Peyton Manning and Randy Moss, which is
Ryan Leaf.
He was a boss.
Right.
Ryan Leaf
but no, that's crazy. Man. Yeah,
he was good in college. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. And then a higher non-QB running back, the higher one was actually Desmond Howard. Yeah,
that makes sense. His Heisman year was just stupid.
Yeah. You know what's shocking? That Barry Sanders is not one of the higher percentages. There's
a lot of guys that don't.
If you think about it, right, like
Barry expectation.
Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas were in the same backfield at Oklahoma State, right? Like in those years, it's like crazy because as you like move forward, it becomes more specialized, right? Like it was Reggie Bush and Lendale White, but you knew it was Reggie Bush. But like Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders, Barry's better, but Thurman is one of the best ever too, right? So it's like it's weird.
You know what's crazy? Bo Jackson was under 50%.
And he won. But Bo Jackson, I just finished his biography by Jeff Pearlman. If you want to read a good book, Bo Jackson is the greatest athlete, in my opinion, in my lifetime.
Yes,
like greatest athlete.
I mean, Sanders is a good
He's not better than Bo. Not better than Bo. No way. Because
I don't know. You could argue that both ways, for sure, in my opinion.
Because they both played baseball and football, right? But
also, they both were absolutely fast as hell. Like they had almost the same 40 time too.
They did, but Bo Jackson also excelled in like every track and field like event. He could throw the javelin. He could throw the distance, like just the greatest athlete ever, man. I love Dion.
It's him, Jim Thorpe, Dion, and like I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm gonna throw Michael Jordan there because he could have gotten baseball if he really wanted to.
Michael Jordan, and and then I get.
That's my Mount Rushmore of greatest athletes to ever walk this planet. It's those four.
Yeah,
man.
Jim Thorpe, because Jim Thorpe was everything like Bo Jackson was, right? Bo Jackson, we've seen it to prove it, right? Dion, to professional sports, as well.
Yeah, at the same time,
Michael Jordan, at the same fucking time. And Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player to ever live. Fuck you, LeBron fans. They're going to say, no. Michael Jordan was on pace to do it in baseball.
Let me ask you guys a question. Final question before we go to final thoughts. Dion as the head coach of Colorado.
Yeah.
If they aren't good this season, does this take some of the shine off of his player accomplishments?
No.
No, because you have to, it takes a little while. It's easier to do at the level that he started at. It's harder to do at the level he's at now.
College is different, man. I'm sorry. It's just so much different. Like it's recruiting. It's more about recruiting.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you're at a lower level, when you have a guy like that to be a magnet, you can get a bunch of talent. You can turn a program around a lot faster when you're at a smaller organization than now he's at Colorado, which is a bigger school than he was at before. I just think that, I don't think it's too much of a knock on him or his shine. I think it's a little slight bit, but I don't think it's that much. These teams take so long to turn around.
I would say Dion would not be on my Mount Rushmore.
He wouldn't be. He shouldn't.
As the greatest athlete to ever walk the planet.
Yeah, I don't think he would be. I don't think he would be.
I don't think you could say
I would
with a straight face.
One of the
Come on, the guy was taking. He would play one sport, take a private jet, and then go play another sport.
Yeah, but so did
at a professional level. That's insanity. Not at the same level. Bo didn't play at the level Dion did. Come on.
Yeah, he did. He was
no. Dion is a Hall of Famer. What are you talking about?
Bo was an all-star in both sports, basically.
Yeah, Bo was an all-star in both sports, and the only reason
not for longevity. But the
only reason he's not is because of his hip injury, and the only reason that happened is because he was physical. Dion shied away from any type of physicality. So, I don't know.
Shied away from physicality. I mean, you not see him
Bo was
running.
the greatest athlete.
Yeah,
I think what Dion said is right. Bo is the greatest physical specimen. Like he's better. He has better. Like his body is genetically better, right? But as far as athlete being good at a sport, I think Dion was better for longer than Bo Jackson was at two sports at a high level.
It was because of the injury. Nobody will ever.
Yeah, that's get hurt. My God.
Yeah, if he doesn't get hurt, dude, he's the greatest athlete in the history of the world. Right?
Sure, he's in the College Hall of Fame for both sports.
Sure, probably, but he got hurt. So that's the problem. It's like you can't you know what I mean? You have to go with what you have. And what you have is a lot more.
I would say
if you can go all. We're gonna do the Space Jam scenario. Okay, basically, like you have the planet can pick any athletes in its fucking prime, right, to represent them. And basically, it's like that first scene in the movie Troy, right? But for sports and the sport, you don't know what it fucking is, right? But you gotta send one in their fucking, in any of them in their fucking prime. You're sending Bo Jackson. Okay.
You're sending Bo Jackson. No doubt.
Regardless of what it is.
Yeah, nope. That's such a good way to frame it, John, and I agree 100%. It's just like Troy in that beginning scene where he just kills the guy and turns around and says, "Is there no one else?"
Yeah,
that's Bo Jackson.
Or Michael Jordan. He has such a fucking killer winning instinct,
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably send Jordan. You send Jordan, and if you don't send Jordan, you probably send, I don't know.
You mean after Bo?
Jordan after Bo? I don't know. I think
Dude,
Bo's
Bo
I
was
think I
the
said Bo
first
first,
guy you
man.
said, man. You said Bo first. Because, dude, like,
first.
if you, dude, do me a favor, read that book and
Watch
you'll
the
see
30
why
for
it's
30.
right.
Watch the
Yeah,
30
watch
for
the
30.
30 for 30. Read his book. What, like, he is just stupid. It's the only way I don't know how to say
How
it.
amazing he was of an athlete.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just.
Yeah. Well, we really got off topic, but you know,
Yeah,
obviously, yeah. Final thoughts. Go ahead, Monty. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we talked about a few things today. It's not necessarily the most hype, you know, news week per se. You know, we're kind of in between things, but you know, we still had some good things to, you know, reference. The stadium stuff was interesting just because I would really love to see the Jets play in New York City. You know, they are the New York Jets, not the New Jersey Jets. I would love to see it at least some point before I kick the bucket. I'd love to go to a New York Jets game in actual New York. So, you know, it's always fun when that rumor comes around. I hope it comes back around again in 2029, and I hope it has more legs on it because I want that to be a thing. You know, Fashionu, I'm going to get this right.
Oh, boy.
Fashionu, you know, the number thing, bullshit, you know, shut up. If you're complaining about that, just don't even watch the show. No, I'm just kidding. Watch the show, but don't
Please.
talk. But don't talk. Just don't say anything. You know, we did kind of gloss over Minicamp a little bit. We just kind of talked more about Aaron Rodgers, but you know, just some things with Minicamp I wanted to say is that, like, you know, I really like how, you know, I saw, you know, like I saw Fashionu, you know, doing some drills. You know, we saw, you know, definitely some different players getting reps. I think that, you know, I think Malachi Corley is going to be a big problem, you know, underneath routes, you know, reverses, screens. I think we've been missing that kind of a player. Not that Brees can't do it, but, you know, you don't always want to give it to Brees. You don't always want to, like, make it that obvious. You know what I mean? I think you'll see Malachi Corley emerge as like a specialist on third down. And, you know, I think that, you know, I hope we see some of the more of that as you know, off season progresses. I really want to see him, you know, do well for us. You know, another thing is with Fashionu is you know, I like that he just is a big, strong, solid looking human, whereas like Becton was like a big fat ass. Um, you know, that's kind of the big difference between the two of them. Like, you know, just Becton, like, listen, he's big and powerful, whatever, but he looks sloppy. He looks like he's, you know, not built to be durable and hold all his weight. Whereas, you know, Fashionu looks more like Shaq, you know what I mean? Like kind of that kind of build, just like a big human that can move other humans around. And I'm really excited to see him start and play. Not too excited because that means Tyron Smith won't be playing, which I would much rather Tyron Smith play as much as possible. But, you know, I am patiently, excitedly waiting for, you know, Fashionu to start. And yeah, you know, last but not least, Aaron Rodgers. Final thoughts on him is just, you know, it's amazing where we are with medicine nowadays. You know, we have you know, people coming back within the same year almost from injuries that used to be career ending and season ending. I think it's great to see that with Rodgers. You know, got into an argument today with some of my Dolphin fan friends about it. They were saying how, you know, oh well, you know, it comes down to Rodgers and the Dolphins will be a better team than the Jets if Rodgers isn't at his MVP form. And I'm just like, no, Rodgers can just be at average performance for Rodgers, you know, which production wise, that's about 4,200 yards and about 32 touchdowns. If Rodgers brings that level of a game, just an average Rodgers year and average Rodgers intensity, I think that this is a deep playoff team. You know, yeah, he's 40. Yeah, he's injured, but you know, like Adnan, you said, you know, he's doing all the right things, and he's not just doing the right things when it comes to playing nice with others. He's doing the right things with leading from the front, with going ham on his rehab with, making sure he takes care of himself, making sure he does everything to be in the right, position to lead our team to victory. So, I'm very happy with that. I'm happy to see, Rodger's in the building and Rodger's, out there with the team already working out, not just rehabbing, but actually like jumping right back in right away. I can't wait to see, what's going in store. I can't wait to see, when we actually start practicing for real. I can't wait to see preseason. I just can't wait to see it all. I'm super pumped for this year, more than I have been for pretty much any year in the last 5 years, maybe 10.
Jesus, that's a long final thoughts. Okay, on.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up, John. It's my thoughts.
It's Monty's thoughts. Because
shut the hell up, John.
Yeah.
You guys always interrupt mine, so whatever.
I know.
Exactly.
I do that on purpose, by the way. If you haven't caught that,
I think agree with Monty on Rodgers first and foremost, because at the end of the day we can talk about everything we want. All that matters is Rodgers, right? And that's why I wanted Fashanu. I love the pick. I love it. Fashanu is enough. Fashanu is a great pick. And the reason why is because he is a left tackle, right? He's a career left tackle. He's a guy that when Smith gets hurt, he's going to be able to slide right in and be that guy. And you're right, Monty. He's not, and I hate talking ill of Becton because I think he's a good guy, right? But he's just not, he wasn't it. And so on paper, this roster is excellent. We'll get into in future episodes, the coaching dynamics and those kinds of things. But I think that the most important thing to take away is Rodgers looks healthy. He's doing all the right things. He's available. He's around. He's helping the young guys. He's taking in Corley. And I couldn't be happier with the way that this offseason has went from, the day the Jets got eliminated from playoff contention to today has been kind of everything they needed it to be. So now we have some milestones coming up, scheduled release next week, which we will be talking about. OTAs, and then we're at the training camp before we know it. So we'll have some good stuff coming for everybody that's listening, and we're excited.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that one of the Jets reps called me today telling me the schedule is being released next week, and I was like, "This is an unnecessary call, but whatever." Trying to get player interviews.
Everyone knew that.
That's not a secret that John knew.
Yeah,
but
I think with Olu, I want to call him OF, but I don't want that confused with OnlyFans.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, but it's actually that would be a good T-shirt to make for him, right? Like I don't know, just like. That meme where there's that guy with the fucking massive dong and just put his face on it, basically, in OnlyFans.
I don't think he selling
that. Actually, it's a great idea.
I don't think he would. Yeah, I don't think he would appreciate that. So let's not do that.
He might have the right sense of humor. Okay. Anyway, so interesting enough, I'm looking at the Jet salary cap and all. This is probably something we probably should talk about more. Top 51 contracts, they still have some space, right? But they have to sign the rookies, so they're going to probably eat all of that up there.
Yep.
If they extend Reed, maybe they create some more space. I mean, the thing I'm thinking, if they have to improve the roster in any way, shape, or form, I think pretty much it's pretty much all ready to go, right? But interesting enough, and we talked about this all throughout free agency, the safety market was so weak, and there's so many big names there left. I'm not going to mention the name, he who shall not be named, but he's still up on the list. Justin Simmons is still there. Eddie Jackson, Quandre Diggs, Micah Hyde, Marcus May, Jaron Curse, who I really liked when we were going after Whitehead. It's just so interesting that market is just so empty. It's just so weird because people were prioritizing the shit out of safety like a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden no one wants a safety anymore, which is just But like right now, I mean, they got Ashton, they got Clark, they got Tony Adams, and the kid that we drafted at the end of the draft is irrelevant. But like, I think if you're going to improve the roster anymore, you could probably land one of these safeties super cheap on a 1 year prove it. I don't know, but you have to make some more space. So it'd be interesting to see if anything happens there. But if they do, I suspect it would be a safety. Just gonna leave it at that. Anyway,
it would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Well said.
Yeah. Fuck the Patriots.
Fuck the Dolphins.
Fuck the Bills.
Go Jets. Go Knicks. Go Rangers.
There we go. Let's
All
go.
day.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Yankees too, but fuck it. All right.
Thanks. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
And the Mets.
Yeah, they need a lot of fucking help. All right. See you guys.